to a special edition of the Big Motor Small Blade podcast. My name is Buddy Pulley, joined of course by Seth Dolby of Push to Pass and Big Motor Small Blade, and Chuck Folsom of On Tour and the Big Motor Small Blade podcast. I appreciate you guys' hat choices for tonight. Who are you wearing today, Seth?
I am wearing Jimmy Johnson and his 2006 Shamu car, which someone should throw back to. Probably won't because Blackfish exists, which is unfortunate, but it's still fantastic car. The old Shamu car, one of my
Blackfish
favorites of all time. So yeah.
Okay, and Chuck, who are you sporting this evening?
So this is like a first ever for the Big Motor Small Blade podcast that Chuck is wearing driver merchandise.
Oh my God, nobody cares. Oh.
I'm calling front stretch right now.
Well, it's a good thing these guys are both retired.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't
Dale didn't really retire.
Well, Dale didn't retire, but I had to wear my Dale shirt and have a 2004 Carl Edwards Super Chips hat because Carl was my childhood driver. So.
Yes.
Buddy, who you got?
But you're still a child.
I'm technically, my hat is Bobby Hamilton, but I don't know that it has a name on it. So, and Sterling Marlin was my favorite Kodak driver. Obviously, I'm sporting both the Kodak shirt and hat because that is probably top 3 favorite paint schemes of all time for me. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. Obviously, I appreciate you guys getting in the spirit of throwback, because that is what we're doing today. We are rating all of the throwbacks from 2024. We're just going to go through every Cup paint scheme, highlight some of the Xfinity and truck throwbacks, give our ratings 1 to 100 because that's comically better than 1 out of 10. I think that pretty much explains it. We're gonna give our top 3 at the end of it. And you can agree, you can disagree. That's fine. You could be wrong. I don't care. Let's do this.
Everyone has an opinion.
Yes. Some of them are
Some
wrong.
are more wrong than others.
Only ours are right.
That's
Unless it's not mine,
Absolutely.
in which case.
Yeah, NASCARs go left, but Big Motor Small Blade is right.
Did you just say NASCARs?
I did
All
that
right.
just for you, buddy.
No, you're buddy.
Brother.
This guy stinks.
I'm glad to see I didn't.
I love this has already gotten off the rails.
Hell yeah,
all
dude.
right.
Are we ready?
We are.
All right. Aye, Captain.
Aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Aye, Captain.
Captain.
Oh!
Ross Chastain.
Okay, anyway, someone should do those throwbacks. So yeah, starting off obviously with Ross Chastain. Is everybody ready? I did not communicate that. We're all ready. Yes.
Yes, we ready.
Okay, cool.
We communicated that as loud as humanly possible.
Oh yeah, that's what we just did, huh?
phone.
All right. So starting off, Ross Chastain and his Busch Light scheme. I think technically they said this is from 2014. It's just, I guess, the era of the Busch Light can. What do you guys think?
It looks like Kevin Harvick's 2016 Busch Light car in a way.
Yes, it looks a lot like Kevin Harvick's Busch Light car.
While I was a fan of that car, I loved the way that blue fucking, oh, dude, that shit looks so good under the lights. But not much of a throwback as far as the race car goes. And it's also just 10 years ago for a can. I'm going to rate this like, for throwbackiness, I'm going to rate it like a 17. For actual looks, I'm going to rate it like a 70.
Okay. All right. Chuck, give 1 rating. Don't do 2 like Seth did.
Okay. So I thought it was just like a can throwback. I didn't know it was technically to like Harvick's car.
It's not.
Okay, so if it's just the can, I don't really care how old the can is. The car looks awesome. So I'm giving it a 95 because it's hot.
A 95. Holy
that thing is hot, dude.
Right.
I love that blue.
I mean, dude, it's an awesome paint scheme. It does give off Kevin Harvick vibes, which puts lead in my pencil for sure. Yeah, dude, you're gonna hear me say this a lot. It's not old enough. It's not. Look, I said this last year about
Big
throwbacks.
coming from you.
I said this last year about throwbacks. If you can't fuck your throwback, you shouldn't do it.
Oh my god.
So anyway, so with that, Ross Chastain's Busch Light throwback is gonna get a 57 out of me. It's a great paint scheme. If they ran this like any other week, it'd awesome.
Fucking rating scale.
Yeah. Up next, Austin Cindric's Freightliner car. This is not a throwback, so we all know what that gets. Goose egg, zilch, nothing. You guys
sucks.
Yes, you guys have failed Throwback Weekend. And another team.
Boo, Penske, boo.
What do you like? Okay, like what?
What?
They could have done something. There's so many things, even if it's like.
That's a debate for another day. We're not getting into what they could have done.
They could have done a lot of things.
I mean, they could have. I mean, that could have easily been a Miller Lite throwback of some sort. Up next, Austin Dillon's Bass Pro Shops car. Go ahead, Seth.
Okay, so Dale Jr.'s done this way better.
Josh Berry also did it.
What? Junior Motorsports.
Yes.
Same exact car.
Jamie McMurray did it.
Very true. And they did it better. The white numbers kind of ruins it. I'm going to give it a 15.
Okay. Chuck.
I'm going to be like slightly less harsh because it is a Dale throwback. And I love
Just be slightly less harsh. Don't say you're going to be.
But, yeah. How do you get the numbers wrong, dude? It's not that hard. So I'm giving them a 20.
I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a like 13. I'm gonna give it a 13. Yeah, it's one of those things where if you would have gotten the number right, hell yeah, dude, you get like a high 80s for sure. No, actually. That's in 95. The 90s. Yeah, that's but you literally just had to make the number black, but you didn't.
You had one job.
And it's been done before. The car's been done before, and it reminds me of when Truex kind of did this car back in 2017. Yeah.
It's like, for me at this point, I know there's like bad like juju or whatever around it, but at this point, honestly, if you're doing a Dale throwback and it's not the GM Goodwrench car, I don't care.
Yeah,
we've seen the Wrangler car done to death. We've seen this Bass Pro Shops car done to death.
We have
or the Peter Max.
We have not seen the Peter Max car, and gosh darn it, we need to see it.
Yes. Okay, so if you're not doing the GM Goodwrench car and you're not doing the Peter Max car, don't even bother. It's not worth it.
What about that rainbow car? Have they done that one?
That is the Peter Max car.
Okay.
You uncultured swine.
I wasn't alive. Okay?
Nor was I.
Yes, you were.
What year was that?
2000.
Oh. Well, I was like a 2. So
I didn't know.
All right. Next up.
Younger generation.
Next up, Josh Berry's Rodney Childers late model throwback. Are we all familiar with what it's throwing back to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it in passing.
Okay. All right, Seth?
It looks kind of like the Sterling Marlin Coors Light car, and I would have preferred that.
All right.
So I'm going to give it a 40.
Accurate. Chuck?
So I like the fact that they actually stuck to the grassroots theme. Like,
that's true. Yeah.
They were given.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they didn't mess it up. It looks good. Car looks nice. I'll give them an 80.
76. I'm giving them a 76. Solid paint scheme. I think there's something to be said about a level of iconicness of some of these throwbacks, and that kind of lowers my score a little bit. But it's hella accurate, and like Chuck said, it goes with the theme. So yeah.
So am I just
76.
being a dick here? Is that what I'm doing?
No, it's your opinion.
You know what we should do? We should rotate who goes first every time.
Okay, cool. I'll go next.
Good point.
I'll go first next. Kyle Larson's Kellogg's Throwback. If you don't give it a fucking 100, then just log off the show.
96.
Oh man, I'm not gonna give it 100 either because the only way it would ever be 100.
Why?
Yeah,
why would
literally
you?
why?
The only way it would ever be a 100 is if it had Kellogg's on it, so it's a 99.
No, Kellogg's sucks. Kellogg's the brand. They literally put chemicals in it to make you stop masturbating. So no, I don't.
No,
want...
what? Kellogg is the reason we all get circumcised and actually we get mutilated as children. So no, fuck Kellogg's.
My lord.
I have no chill tonight.
Good God. Okay, I'm still giving it a 99. I'm not giving anything 100. Giving it a 99. It's awesome though.
I don't think I've ever laughed this hard on the show.
I broke Buddy.
Dude, what are we doing?
Like I said, Kyle Larson's Kellogg's Throwback gets 100 because it's the best one. Let's be real. I mean, let's not even keep everybody waiting in suspense. Yeah, apparently it took him 3 years in the making to get that car done. So
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
So that
kudos
means
for the
next
effort.
year should be like the Tony the Tiger Stripes car.
Yes, I agree.
I agree. Next up, Brad Keselowski's Castrol Throwback. It's thrown back to a one of their Castrol sponsored sports cars. Chuck, go ahead.
So I guess this doesn't technically fit the grassroots theme, but I also love a good throwback that isn't a NASCAR throwback. And Castrol seems to have the best one or one of the best ones of these every year.
Mm-hmm.
Partially because they refuse to throw back to that Casey Atwood car, but it's fine. I mean, it looks awesome. I think the green chrome numbers are also really cool on it. I don't have any complaints with it. They didn't mess any of the paint scheme up, so 85.
Seth.
I dig. I'm gonna give it an 80.
I'm gonna give it a 87. Some of these cars that aren't NASCAR paint schemes, they a lot of times don't transfer well, but this is one of the rare exceptions where it transfers really well. So kudos to Castrol for that one. That was a good car. Next up, Corey LaJoie's Throwback. It is a throwback, I believe, to his K&N car, and it's not a good one. I'm going to give this... I'd give it a 7, but that would be a nod to Corey, so I'm going to give it a 6. It's not a good throwback. The colors don't match. The paint scheme is not iconic enough for me to know what it is, even with the colors being changed. So, yeah, not a fan. I guess you get 6 points because it's the grassroots. You follow the grassroots theme. And also, Corey LaJoie sucks.
Yeah,
He's throwing back to the last time he was decent.
Yeah. So in his defense, they are throwing back they are following the theme, I guess. So points for that. It's not particularly eye-catching, and it's not particularly nice on the eyes, at least for me. So I'm going to give it a 50.
Okay.
So my baseline for following the grassroots theme is automatic. Free 30 points at least. But when your car is ugly, I start deducting points. So kudos. You started with 30, and then I looked at it, and I was like, 22.
22. All right. Kyle Busch's car, it is not a throwback, and there's a giant circle on the side of it for zone, and it's the same shape as the rating we're going to give it. It gets a 0.
It's out of the zone.
I want to say, like, if you guys have watched Kyle Busch's Twitter this week, this dude wants to run a throwback so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a shame that he's not. You can tell he really wants to.
Yeah.
I swear to God, why will they not put Kyle Busch in a Dale Earnhardt throwback?
Well, here's the thing. Teresa Earnhardt
is about to lose the 8 number.
Exactly. And
yeah.
So hopefully Kyle Busch does a Dale Jr. throwback.
Well, hopefully they just make that the full-time number font for the car.
That too.
She's fighting the one because of Ty Norris, which is...
Yeah, she's spiteful against Ty Norris. I don't know. Next up, Chuck Elliott's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Daytona 500 2014 throwback. Seth.
Okay, they got the colors right. Obviously, they got the vibe of it right. Is how I'm going to put it. Well done. I'm going to give it a 88.9.
Okay. All right.
I was going to give it an 88, and I was like, that's cheesy.
All right.
So they got everything right on it, like Seth said. I guess Hendrick, gets a pass for not following the grassroots theme because they're Hendrick. And at least they did throwbacks, unlike 2 of the other top teams in the sport. So not going to take anything away from them, but I will say it's a really cool car, but it isn't old enough. Like, it's, I guess, 10-year anniversary, cool throwback, but at the same time, there are other options that are just as good that are older. So I'm going to give it a 75.
I kind of agree with the it's not old enough thing, but it's one of those. I'll give it a slight exception just because of the iconicness of that paint scheme. That's one of my favorite Dale Earnhardt Jr. paint schemes. And also, it kind of is a grassroots thing because that was like when Chase drove for Junior. I don't know.
I guess, yeah. I will say that is one of my favorite Junior paints.
Yeah. Too. But also I love the fact that the sponsor bought into this. UniFirst did a hell of a job with it, and so I'll give it an 88. Fuck it.
All right,
cool.
Noah Gragson gets a 0.
He gets a 0. It's on the side of his car.
That sucks because he would be a fun guy to have a throwback. Yeah.
He hasn't had a throwback. He didn't have a throwback in Xfinity, I feel like, a couple times either.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah. Denny Hamlin also gets a 0.
Boo. Boo, yep. Denny Hamlin. Boo.
Boo Joe Gibbs Racing in general.
Yeah. And this one is extra annoying. Ryan Blaney also is not doing a throwback, and it's quite a shame because he has a sponsor as iconic as Motorsports, as Menards, and they just decided no. So that's disappointing.
Not to mention he's, like the defending champion. Just not.
Allegedly.
Oh, I love how that was correlated. Not that I disagree with you, but like, dude.
Yeah. Next up, Chase Briscoe. He is doing a throwback. I actually don't know what this is. I know it's a throwback to a sprint car.
It's his family sprint car.
His family sprint car. Okay. Stuart Haas did a good job of sticking with the grassroots theme of it. Chuck, go ahead.
So I don't exactly know the whole family dynamic to it, but I know there's 2 different elders of his family that are tied to this paint scheme. Anytime we get a dirt car throwback, it's awesome to me. I love it. So it's a simple paint scheme. There's nothing complex or flashy about it. But they didn't mess it up, and for it translating from a sprint car to a cup car, did pretty well. I'll give it a solid 80.
I'm going to go next. It reminds me of Dale Jr.'s baseball car, except a lot more suckish. Sprint cars transferred onto cup cars look awful. It is Kyle Larson's throwback in 2021 looked terrible. This looks terrible. Any other sprint car they've ever done. Joey Logano's midget from a couple of years ago, that looked awful. I get it. It's sentimental. It does not look. I don't think it looks good at all. I could not tell you what it is. So I'm gonna give it a fucking 31, just because it's something, I guess.
I'm pretty much in agreement with Buddy.
Yeah.
I get it. And also, yeah, sprint cars don't work on cup cars. For me, I'm going to give it a 14.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Jesus.
Next up, Kaz Gralla. This is a throwback to. Is it not a? It's a throwback to a sports car. Is it not?
I had it pulled up.
Yeah, I have no idea what's. I remember seeing it and thinking, okay, that actually looks really like similar to the actual car.
Yeah, so
Chuck's
I don't know.
Reporting.
Chuck is doing Chuck things. I don't know what the car looks like or what it did look like.
Well, let Chuck pull it up, and we'll give a honest rate. You figure it out. You find it.
It is a throwback, so it's not.
Let me
a
see it.
NASCAR.
Yeah, I know. I just said it's a sports car.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
Okay.
Got you. Oh, it's a Parnelli Jones.
Yeah, from 1969.
Okay, and what is it? A drag car? Or a sports car?
That looks like a sports car.
Yeah.
That looks like a sports car.
It would just look like it was on a drag strip. Okay, that changes my opinion of it. Seth, you can go first.
I think this looks great. I'm going to give it a 92.
Wow. All right.
I like it.
The fact that it's a Parnelli Jones too, that adds to it. I'm gonna give. I didn't know what it was without looking it up, so I'm gonna give it a 71.
So I didn't know what it was either, but just looking at it, it's really cool. I love the number on it. I love old Mustangs in general, so the fact that it's even a throwback to an old Mustang makes me super happy, and it's a beautiful race car, so I'm going to give it a 95.
All right. Chris Buescher did not
throwing
do
it
a
back
throwback
to his 2022 flip at Charlotte. It's definitely not old enough. I'm going to give it a 1.5.
I'm not even giving it 5/3 of a fucking point there, so it's 0, absolute 0. It's not a throwback.
I'll give him 0.001.
Oh, got him. All right. Next up, Martin Truex Jr. throwing it back to his 2016, 2016
Southern 500
throwback,
win.
Southern 500 win.
I guess at least it's a throwback now.
It wasn't a throwback when he ran it in 2016. And I guess technically, yes, it is a throwback now. It's not old enough. And fuck that car because it beat Kevin Harvick. I'm giving it a 24.
I guess I'll go next. So, Joe Gibbs Racing just decided, screw Throwback Weekend. And they're like, oh, you know what? We got to get one out there. So let's throw back to a car that wasn't a throwback and just so happened to win. So now we can shove it off as a throwback and tweak the current paint scheme by like 2%. Fuck you for trying to tell me that's a throwback and gaslight me. You get a
Auto
one.
owners historically has had terrible throwbacks.
I was about to say, this is an auto owners thing.
Yeah.
Like, the only time they threw back properly, I say properly, the closest thing to them throwing back properly was this 2021 scheme. But even that was
plain
not
black car, and it still it couldn't. Yeah, Chuck, what's your rating?
1.
Okay.
1 singular point.
That's fair. Seth,
Gaslighting hose.
I don't know. It's technically a throwback, so I'm gonna give it like a 27.
I'm docking mine down to a 16.
Seth, I feel like you're giving them too much credit for it being a throwback.
Hey, man.
It was also okay. Hang on. To be fair, it was my first Southern 500, which was, of course, my favorite race. the Southern 500, not the 2016 one. So that kind of slightly elevates it
that's fair.
for me.
Fair. Yeah. That was actually the first race that Seth and I went to together. Was that
It's
race?
very true.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a hypocrite because my first Southern 500 was the year before, and my driver won the race and one of the only non-throwback cars. So,
Wouldn't you have preferred him to have a throwback though?
Yeah, it pissed
I
me
mean,
off.
obviously, I would have preferred him to win in the car he drove the next year.
My first Southern 500 was when Kyle Busch won in the Indiana Jones car.
Which I would argue is kind of a throwback.
Okay, anyway, moving on to Christopher Bell. They claim this was a throwback.
To what?
It is just a paint scheme commemorating DeWalt's 100th anniversary. It's terrible. There's 1,000 iconic DeWalt schemes that they could have done, and they decided to do this. So, obviously, 0.
Yeah, they could have slapped that same 100-year logo on a 2003 Matt Kenseth throwback or something, but...
Yep.
Well, we just did that like a year ago.
No,
Did we not?
Okay.
No, it was 2004.
There's plenty of Matt Kenseth.
Why they didn't do 2003, I don't know.
Either way, what is it, a throwback to his Bristol dirt win from last year?
No, it's not even that.
It's a
No,
0.
I know.
either.
I'm joking. It gets a -1 for them claiming it.
Well, we're not. Yeah, it gets a 0. It's not a throwback. Harrison Burton throwing it back to I think I can't remember what year this was, but it was an old Wood Brothers car. This is another one. These paint schemes from like the 50s and 60s.
1953.
Okay. They don't transfer well for me. I do like the dirt around the wheels. That's a kind of a nice touch. I'm going to give this I'll give it a 35.
All right. The translation, I agree with you on the translation's a little odd, but I think it works on this one. I'm a fan of the way this car looks. Props to Dex Imaging for allowing a little bit of flexibility with their logo.
Did you know Jeff Burton owns Dex Imaging?
All right, never mind. No shout outs to Dex Imaging.
That's
I love
not true. I saw that on Twitter.
Oh. Oh yeah, I knew that wasn't true. Fuck you. I'm stupid. Anyway, I really like the 21 font. I don't really love the dirt down the side because like that's just kind of silly to me. Like it wasn't a part of the actual scheme. It was just like a picture of after the race and there was dirt on it. So let's throw dirt on the car. I mean, it looks
like
okay.
Chase Briscoe's Mahindra car.
Kinda. But ultimately, I dig it. I'm going to give it a 78.
78. All right.
So the only thing I don't get about it is that in the press release that I'm looking at right here, they show the car. They have 2 different cars because the top picture is number 22 and the bottom picture is number 21. So, I mean, they look the exact same, but like, why? It kind of irks me that they use 2 different cars in the press release thing.
I feel like I saw a Stapleton 42 video, the one he did with the Woodborough. I feel like they explained that.
Okay, well, either way, it is
Just a
very grassroots,
token.
and shout out to a Wood Brothers throwback that isn't red and white.
Hey, hang on. You can never go wrong with a red and white Wood Brothers.
I'm not saying you can, but like it is cool to every once in a while switch it up, do something a little different, and they did. So I'll give them. There's nothing flashy about it, so I'll give them a 70.
All right. Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, you guys get a 0. Joey, you definitely could have done something. There's several Pennzoil schemes that haven't been done yet. Bubba, dude, like there's so many McDonald's paint schemes. Like, come on now. All right.
Yeah, that's lame.
William Byron. Obviously, we all know what this is. It's a Jeff Gordon Firestorm throwback. Seth, you get the first take on this one.
All right, the front end. Let's talk about it.
On the actual car, it's spot on.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
the
so
actual
never
car
mind.
is spot on. Yeah.
All right, cool. So they got that. The back. Dude, what the fuck? Half of the fun of the Firestorm car was the fucking orange and the several different shades of orange flames on the back of the damn thing. And you roll up and it's black. I understand you're trying to like cheat or whatever the hell. But like, for fuck's sakes, you're still not faster than 5 car. Paint the fucking tail thing the right color and let's get this going. And also the deck lid. The deck lid's black too. Ruins the whole fucking thing. I'm sorry. I say ruins the whole thing. It takes it from a damn stark 100 to a fucking 68.5.
Wow.
No, fuck that. 68. They don't even get that half. Lame.
Right.
All right. Okay. Chuck, you can go ahead.
So, obviously, I didn't grow up a Jeff Gordon fan.
Yeah, hang on. Let's clarify. If you didn't know, Seth is a Jeff Gordon chill. Like he's so
way
Seth
better
is
than
gonna be gonna. Anyway,
No.
The math doesn't lie, Chuck. I'm sorry.
So Seth is going to be extra critical of this car. But go ahead, Chuck.
I will say, everything he said is valid. Like, dude,
100%. Yeah. It's
how
valid.
do you, like, it's the same thing as the Austin Dillon throwback from earlier.
It's
You
fair.
had one job. Don't fuck it up. So for that reason, I'm going to give them, because they messed up a simple Jeff Gordon car, I'm going to give them a 30.
30. Wow. Holy shit.
I'm very harsh of people messing up simple paint schemes.
Okay. I am not going to be as critical. I think the car looks fucking awesome. I'm excited to see it again. I always loved this car as a kid. Yes, it's not 100% there, but I'm going to give it I'm still going to give it like a 94 because Dale Earnhardt won the championship in 94.
Which was his last one, and he never won one again because Jeff Gordon took all of them. I'm also I'm more mad because like they totally nailed the 01 to 08 flame scheme. Completely, like the back end was proper, the fucking deck lid was proper, and then this one they come out and it's just wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Let's do a little bit of rapid fire with these next 4 or 5 because we're running long.
Whoa. There's one that I have to talk about.
I know the one you're going to talk about, and I agree. I would like to say a few words. Michael McDowell's Long John Silver scheme. It's just a white paint scheme. I don't like it. I do love Long John Silvers. Shout out to the one Long John Silvers that I know that's still in existence in Atlanta. I'm giving this a fucking 22. Seth, real quick.
Super simple. I dig it. I think it looks really good. I'm gonna give it a 90.
Wow.
Never eaten at one. Don't think I ever want to eat at one. But I like the little pirate with the parrot dude on the side. He's cool. I'm rocking with him. I'll give it it's simple. It's nice. I'll give it a 75.
All right. On to the next one. Todd Gilliland. It's Throwback 2. His Cars Tour. Is it first Cars Tour win, right?
That was not only his first Cars Tour win, that was the inaugural Cars Tour event at Southern National Motorsports Park in 2015, where he beat Buddy's guy, Deke McCaskill.
Deke, Raleigh boy. Let's go.
So I obviously am the Cars Tour. So seeing a Cars Tour throwback, it's grassroots. It's the inaugural Cars Tour race. It's awesome. And I am biased, and I don't care. I'm giving it a 96.
All right.
Because it's cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give it a 91. I'd give it higher, but he beat Deke McCaskill, and I don't appreciate that. So that's what I'm going with. Seth.
This car, much like Todd himself, puts some serious lead in my pencil. I dig it. I'm gonna give it a 90 as well.
Holy shit. Okay.
Okay.
Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
Probably shouldn't.
All right. Next up, Ryan Preece. I have no clue what this is thrown back to. I know it's thrown back to something he did. Which
I'm working. Oh, it says modified championship.
Okay. 12.
I don't know what year.
Who cares?
I don't give a shit.
2013. Hey,
Okay.
it's 11 years old.
It's not old enough. It transfers terribly. I don't like Ryan Preece. 12.
Ryan Preece, much like modified, suck. 7.
Okay, you guys are unnecessary haters. Like I said, automatic at least 30 for following the grassroots theme. I mean,
And then take off 21 points for it being Ryan Preece. And
keep it rolling,
no,
Chuck.
and I honestly, I
Keep
like
it
the
rolling,
color.
Chuck.
I like the color scheme. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's not bad. I'm gonna give it a 60.
All right.
it looks like a damn NHL reverse retro jersey. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway.
Holy shit, yeah, it does. What the hell? Next up, John Hunter Nemechek's 42 car. I don't know. I would assume this is a petty car of some sorts. No clue. It looks.
It's a Lee Petty throwback.
Is it the right color?
I would doubt it.
No, from what I've seen, everything is correct about it. Here is, I believe, the original car they were throwing back to. If it would focus.
If you'd stop moving it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. You know what? 89. That's solid. That's awesome. It's a beach car. I fuck with beach cars. Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, it's. I'm
or go. You can go, Chuck.
Yeah, it's definitely old school. I like it. They didn't mess it up. They had other options they could have gone with, but I'm glad they incorporated Petty.
Every car had other options they could have gone with.
Well, I mean, no, they could have gone like the John Hunter's family route, but
the 5 team only had one option.
I'm glad they're incorporating Petty into it since he's not technically owners anymore. So I'll give it a 90.
Seth.
I really like it. 83.
Fair. I do like.
I'll go ahead and do this for you.
Hang on. I do like that they are using the 40. Obviously, they got the number 42 when they went over to Petty GMS, and I like the fact that they are taking advantage of using that number that was a historic number. So, yeah. Next up, Eric Jones. I know what this is throwing back to. It's fucking cool. I'm giving it a 95.
Seth, do you need to see the car in question?
Yeah, I don't know what this is throwing back to. Okay, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Damn. Fucking. Damn.
And they didn't mess it up either.
That's a good looking car, dude.
94.
97. Fuck it. I'm giving a couple extra points.
Dude, this is confusing. I keep writing down things for my top 3, and I'm getting confused here.
All right. Chuck, what you got?
Yeah, I really like it. I'm glad they didn't mess it up in any way. I'll give it a 93.
Yeah. Petty cars are always super, super good. Even both.
That was like a unique one too.
Yeah.
It's not like the.
And they did good ones in 22.
What year is it? What year is it?
I saw it. So it's okay. The post says the 50s. I'd have to dig a little more and find the exact years because I found it before.
Well, they weren't selling merch, so they didn't have to, change the paint scheme every year. So it's probably, it's fine. We don't need an exact year.
The 50s.
Yeah, like I said, Petty always knocks it out of the park. Even both of Bubba Wallace's throwbacks in 2018.
Bubba Wallace.
Anyway, Tyler Reddick's Tim Richmond throwback. Seth, go for it.
It's pretty cool. I don't, off the top of my head, know how accurate it is. Fucking 65.
From what I remember, it's pretty accurate. Obviously, they have to slap the black corner on the car because Monster.
Yeah.
Dude,
hold on. Let's be real. Tim Richmond would have slammed some beasts, dude.
This is very true.
So.
This is true.
It is apt. Yeah, so it's fair.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a good Tim Richmond throwback? I'll give it an 82.
What?
82.
82. A lot of people were excited about this one. It's a cool car. It's not very iconic, but Tim Richmond's awesome. Give it a 79. Next up, Ricky Stenhouse's Mark Martin throwback from 2004. I remember I had the diecast of this car. I remember playing with it on the floor of my living room. So for the childhood memories that this car brings me, I'm giving it a 91.
Seth?
No,
Okay.
it's like a 10.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's dead on
Dude, look,
accurate.
I didn't realize it was a Mark Martin throwback until you said it.
Well, okay, so
Like, no.
it's 100% accurate. Like,
Yeah,
Buddy's
it's
right.
like
Got it.
dead
Is it?
on.
To a T.
What car is it throwing back to? Is
The craft car. Right?
that
Look
a
it
Busch
up,
car?
Chuck. Look it up.
No, here we go.
I got it. I got it. Go ahead. Give your rating, Chuck.
So it's a very unique car because it's not one that's all that recognizable from that era of Mark Martin cars. Okay, so
Okay,
it's the
fine. It's a 14 then.
Okay. Anyway, so go ahead. Chuck.
But it's like, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because that team has historically had some of the worst throwbacks ever, and they finally did one right. So I will give them for doing it exactly right, even with the sponsor on the side. I'll give them an 85.
85. All right, cool. Moving on. Alex Bowman's Ally throwback. Ally consistently puts out bangers. I love this paint scheme. I flipped off this paint scheme quite a bit when I was younger, but I love it today. Fucking 100. I'm giving it 100 as well.
Chuck.
So I actually way disagree. Because number one, Jimmy and Lowe's did a throwback to this at the end.
And they screwed it up. They screwed it up. They did.
Okay.
They did it right.
Well, then,
It says do it right, and they did it right. It says it right there on the car.
And then I know it's not that one; it was the other two. But then Chase and Alex did throwbacks with the same color scheme in 2020.
No,
better.
those are two different. Those are two different They're different.
I know they are, but I am
Stop
just
yelling.
mad that we have yet. I'm sorry. I'm mad that we have yet to get a Cobalt car.
Yes.
And for that reason, I am giving it a 60
Oh, you're an
until
idiot.
we get a Cobalt car.
The disrespect. Go ahead, Seth.
I don't. I also hated that car as a kid. So
Where's Shamu?
How do you hold on? No, hang on. We're gonna go
hated
back.
every Lowe's car as a
No,
kid.
no. Yeah, I was about to say. You don't even.
Yeah, but
you were one. You were fucking one when this car stopped
what's
running.
the first Lowe's car you remember? The fucking 09 car?
No, probably the fucking 2016 one.
When he was 12?
Yeah, when he fucking won the championship and Carl didn't. Go ahead, Seth.
Okay.
Actually, the first one I remember is the Cobalt car, honestly. But
He did win a lot in that car. Any 48 throwback that's not the Shamu car is getting a 0 from me from now on. We did this 5 years ago. I don't care.
Oh
I don't
my
care
God.
I don't care if they fucked it up. They done other in that similar era throwback. Jimmy didn't even win a championship in this car. He won 7 of them. Like, if you're gonna pick a Lowe's car we've already done, pick one he won a title in. You still haven't done
Darlington.
2010. You still haven't done 2010, which is the year he won 5 in a row. So
Fuck that car.
I mean, I don't like it either. I think it's kind of ugly, but it's iconic for that reason. So
That's
this
fair.
is like the 7th Lowe's car I would think to throw back to. And also, again, it's not Shamu and it's not Cobalt. I don't care anymore. 0. I don't care.
Seth did the more complex description of what I was trying to say.
My first Coca-Cola 600, Jimmy Johnson won in this paint scheme.
Do you want a cookie?
My first Coca-Cola
Fuck it,
600,
if you
David
got one.
Ruderman won. What's your point?
Jimmy Johnson also won my first Coca-Cola 600, but it was 2014.
I feel like
Where's my David
Hold
Ruderman
on.
Aaron
I
throwback?
feel like Seth and I are in AA. Jimmy Johnson also won. Justin Haley, not a throwback. You get nothing.
Ew.
Ty Gibbs, I don't think Jesus is technically a throwback, so we're going to go ahead and give that one a 0 as well. Zane Smith, Dave Marcus throwback. It doesn't have the wing on it, so
No shit.
I'll give it a 71. It's one of those that doesn't transfer well. Do we know if it has the number on the deck lid? If it has the number on the deck lid, I'll give him more points.
I have no clue.
I'm gonna assume he doesn't. 71. This thing would be bitching on the salt flats though.
I think it's fine. I'm gonna give it a 65.
Chuck.
70.
All right, cool.
Buddy, for notes, this scoring system is confusing as all fuck.
That's fine. Carson Hocevar. I don't think it.
Is this a throwback?
I don't think it is. If it is, it's dumb. 0.
It is. I have to hold on.
Fucking ACAB. Fuck this. Like,
I don't.
I don't. Fuck that
This
car.
is not a cop car.
That is definitely a cop car, is it not?
It says Premier Security. I don't think cops are security
Hold on.
companies.
That's a cop car. That's a fucking cop
It looks
car.
kind of like
it's a
cop car.
throwback. It is a throwback to a vintage police car.
Oh, okay, never mind. 0.
Yeah, 0. Moving on.
Oh wait, no. To be fair though, it kind of looks like a Mayberry police car.
I don't know what that is.
Oh
0.
yeah, you don't. Chuck, do you agree with me? Does it kind of look like
Yes,
a?
it does.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna give it a fucking 60.
It's a. I concur. 60.
All right. Moving on. The last Cup Series throwback on the list, Daniel Suarez's Adrian Fernandez throwback. I think this is awesome. It's one of those ones, IndyCars don't typically transfer well. For some reason, this one does for me. I'm giving it a 89.
Chuck, do you want to go?
Anybody?
I'll go. I love when it's like so satisfying when the same sponsor throws back from one motorsport to another. The old logo is like the old font and everything is sick. I feel like it's hard to make this translate 100% accurate, and they did the best they could with it. It's pretty solid. I'll give it a 90.
Shout out to Quaker State. Target tried the same thing in 2016, and it looked like dog shit. This looks great. I am going to give it a 85.
Yeah, I mean, and the tie-in, the fact that, you know, it's another Mexican-born driver, and the number font, they got it right too. I mean, it's just awesome, and they got awesome merch for it too.
It's Trackhouse. What did you expect?
Yeah, it's true. I do want a Adrian Fernandez Lowe's throwback at some point. So go ahead and put that on the docket.
Larson is coming. It's like the Kentucky Derby. Oh, it's my that close. It's Larson.
Buddy said, Kyle Larson. I'm like, no, he didn't.
The red line is the start-finish line, and you can see that Larson is just ahead by maybe that much. That camera shoots at several thousand frames a second, far faster than any human eye can see. So it's truly the best way of determining who is ahead.
In my opinion, this is not the greatest finish of all time.
Craven Busch is still the best finish.
They touch! Craven got him!
It's Hendrick Motorsports. It's their 40th anniversary. They've already won the Daytona 500, won Martinsville, had a 1-2-3 finish in their 40th anniversary of their first win, which is definitely rigged. The narrative that Kyle Larson is the greatest race car driver in the world. That added into the fact that this is the closest finish in Cup Series history. You add that to Kyle Larson's legacy. Also, is the beginning of the month in which Kyle Larson is probably going to be the most talked about thing in motorsports because he is running the Indianapolis 500. No, I mean, I want him in the damn All-Star race. It was one of the biggest stories in motorsports of him coming from New Zealand, relatively unknown to America, and kicking our nuts in winning that race. I want him to have all the accolades and all the flowers of being a Cup winner because he is, like I said, one of the greatest race car drivers in the world. He's here in America. He's made this commitment, and you can't even put him in a car for the All-Star race that he earned a spot in? Come on. Come on. The more I think about this, the more pissed off I am. Let's do this. Let's rank the let's give our top what we say, top 3?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Top 3. We're going with you know what, Chuck, you go ahead. Make it quick.
Okay, so for number 3, I am going to be biased and say Todd Gilliland because Cars Tour. Number 2, I am going to say the Kaz Grala car.
Okay.
Because it's awesome. And number 1 is Kyle Larson.
Seth.
All right. So I went kind of back and forth on a couple of these. Number 3, I got Kaz Grala's. I think it looks sick. Number 2, I've got Eric Jones's car. Also looks sick. And number 1 is, of course, William Byron. Just kidding. It's Kyle Larson's. William Byron's is awful. Not awful, but I'm disappointed in it.
Awful waffle, not awful.
Could have been so much better.
My top 3, Shane Van Gisbergen.
I didn't know we were doing
just
that.
doing
We're doing Cup.
Oh.
We're going to pick our favorite out of the other 2 series, just our favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Fine. We're doing. Well, I'll go with. Well, shit. I don't know what my 3 is. Okay, I like the William Byron car. Number 3.
Gross.
Number 3 is that. Number 2 is Alex Bowman. I think it's unanimous. Kyle Larson is. He has the best throwback.
Homer.
Okay. No.
You also picked Kyle Larson through your favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't pick 2 other.
Hendrick Homer.
I didn't pick 2 other Hendrick cars as my other 2.
Oh, wait,
I'm sorry. They knocked it out of the park.
He picked Byron, Bowman, Larson.
That's terrible.
Okay.
It's awful.
From the other series, Shane Van Gisbergen.
Well, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to say, hold on, let me make sure I pick the right guy because I know there's a lot of, whatever the Cale Yarborough throwback. I think it was Blaine Perkins.
Blaine Perkins, yes.
All right, for Xfinity, I'm going to pick the William Byron, Kyle Larson throwback. Great scheme. And for Truck Series...
You're not picking Shane Van Gisbergen?
And for the Truck Series, I'm going to pick the Rajah Caruth, Kyle
Oh,
Larson
my
throwback.
God.
Okay, no, I'm fucking with you guys a little bit. I'm going to pick for the Xfinity Series, I'm going to pick the Brennan Poole Hot Wheels throwback. That's sick. Just so I pick something other than Shane, just since you already did. Shane, honorary, obviously. And then for trucks, for real, I'm going to pick the Corey Haim Cale Yarborough throwback because I love me some Cale Yarborough. So.
Chuck.
I think my truck is one that wasn't on that list. So now I have to go find it again. So, buddy, you go ahead.
He already went.
Oh, no, I did not do trucks. I will go with Daniel Dye.
Our ads work as hard as you.
What is playing?
Our ads work as hard as you. I don't know what Daniel did that made you think he needed to die, but like.
Oh my god.
Good God. Dude, where did it go? I can't find it.
I'm about to pick one for you.
No.
William Byron's Kyle Larson throwback.
Out of spite, because Buddy hates it, I am picking the dirt late model throwback that Bailey Curry's running.
You're an idiot. I think that's all we have, folks. Let us know
which truck.
Huh?
Did Chuck pick a truck?
That's what the dirt
did.
late model thing is.
Yeah.
What was your Xfinity car?
My Xfinity car was Blaine Perkins, the Cale Yarborough throwback.
Oh. See, I'm not paying attention anymore. This has gone on too long.
This has gone on entirely too long. Thank you, Chuck. So
There's 3 of us here, right?
by the way,
I mean, you
welcome
kind of
back-
kept adding new ones to the
Yeah,
thing, like that none of us cared about. Well, actually, that's not true. We cared about a couple of them. But...
Yeah. Welcome back to the show, Chuck.
I'm quitting, guys. I'm quitting.
That's
No,
fine.
you can't do that. We can't make a new background.
Yeah. So
Till
anyway,
next year.
Anyway, let us know what you think about the throwbacks that are your favorites down in the comments below.
Remember, all opinions are valid unless they're not mine.
Yes, exactly. I think there was a narrative that that there was that this was a bad year for the throwbacks. I think it's not as good as some years, but it's decent. There's some bangers in there. Obviously, Hendrick knocked it out of the park. But yeah.
Real quick, this whole notion that NASCAR needs to like mandate people run throwbacks is asinine, and y'all all sound like idiots.
Yes, 100%.
I'm aware I sound like an idiot, and I don't care.
All right, cool. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the nonsense that was this, and we'll see you after the Goodyear 400. Go fuck yourselves.